day, everybody. This is Shane Hagedorn, and you are listening to the Moment to Moment podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Again, my name is Shane Hagedorn. I am an actor, writer, and producer of feature-length films. We have a few of our films up on Amazon and various different outlets. And along with that, as a lot of people know, most actors do have a day job. For me, I've been acting for probably 18 years now, starting in theater. But I originally started in security work. So when I was probably on the cusp of my 21st birthday, just a few months before that, I got into plainclothes security work. So, watching cameras, doing floor patrols and busting shoplifters and looking for, thefts from employees and stuff like that. So worked my way up to manager and then eventually got into uniform security at a hospital, where I still work in Michigan, mid-Michigan. So taking that interesting route, the sideline parallel to finally get into acting, something, of course, I always wanted to do as a kid, as a young man, but never really knew how to do it. Didn't know where that opportunity would happen. You'd always think, of course, LA, and second, New York. And as I got older, you learned about Chicago, but never in Michigan could a young person dream of ever becoming an actor here. So that said, as I got into security work, eventually I thought I would just become a police officer after doing it for so many years. And I enrolled in the criminal justice program, was taking classes, doing really good at the same time, working in security. And I took one elective because it was that time in my life. I was probably 25, 26. And I told myself, you know what, I'm going to live without regrets. And I seen this acting class as an elective. And I go, I'm going to do it. This year, I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to that girl. I'm going to go out for these things that usually would scare me, or I'm kind of, as most actors are, we're kind of introverts. And as Robin Williams very well put years and years ago, God bless him, he's a site-specific extrovert. So that really resonated with me. I'm usually quiet, withdrawn, but when I need to, I turn it on. And that does take some energy. Of course, anybody that knows having to work a crowd or work the stage or performance, of course, even just shaking hands in line. I mean, it can be exhausting, really draining emotionally. So I took that class, an intro to acting class, and my instructor at the time, while I was going to school full time and still going to work full time, and then I was taking this class and he goes, so tell me a little bit about yourself. So you said you wanted to be a cop. I said, yeah, I just thought that was, probably as a kid, I always wanted to. I might not always, walk that side of the line, but as I got older, of course, my ideals changed and things got set right. So he goes, wow, I just don't see you being a cop. I can see you doing this. This is what I see you as. And man, it just really gave me a lot of confidence at that time to go, you know what, someone else sees this in me, something that I always, wanted from the outside, just looking from the outside, looking in, always secretly wanting that, but of course didn't know how that would happen or who would support me. I didn't know anybody that did that. You all know doctors, lawyers, plumbers, even dental hygienists, but very few actors, very few writers or filmmakers. It was very foreign, and it was foreign to me. Like, how was I going to get this support? So having that little boost of confidence really helped me to make that decision. And that was the year, like I said, I'm going to talk the girl, and I started working at this hospital, and this is where I met a very, very exciting and beautiful woman, which now is my wife. But I said, I'm going to go talk to that lady. And so we were dating at the time, and I come back to her and I said, you know what? This is something that I always really wanted to do. And when I go for things, I really take it by the horns and I make a very solid decision based upon, of course, the evidence and where my heart is going. But this is something I told her I wanted to do. And if you want to be with me, it's going to be a crazy ride. But if you're willing to go that distance with me, I want to try this. And she was supportive then. She's been supportive now through this whole journey. I switched my major from criminal justice and I enrolled in the theater department. So a little bit of history, got some really cool roles, some comedies, some stunt heavy stuff with stage combat. I studied 16th century Italian style Fabri, rapier, style of sword fighting, rapier and cloak, rapier and dagger. And I starred in, along with two other of my stars, in The Three Musketeers. I played Porthos on stage. And so from that point, I was thinking theater was it. And I'm going to have to go to Chicago because that's where everybody goes. It's closest. It's Midwestern still. And me and my girlfriend, then fiance, would visit Chicago. And we're like, oh, could we see ourselves living here? Yeah, it looked nice. But after 2-3 days, I wanted to go home. It was too loud. There was too many people. I come from Midwest, mid-Michigan. Not a lot of people, but just comfortable enough. You can get out on a street, you can get in on the highway and get where you need to go and not sit in traffic. That appealed to me. So how do I do it staying here in Michigan where my family is, where my friends are? And this one girl came in from class. We hadn't seen her in a couple of days. And everybody's like, hey, where you been? And she goes, I was just on a movie. And I was like, what? She went and shot or acted in a short film. And I couldn't believe it. They make movies here. And I asked her a couple things about it, but I didn't want to, be too weird about it. So I just played it cool. And one of my acting for the camera instructors at that time, Leela Ivy, who had a really cool career out in LA, did a lot of TV, did some really popular movies, Addams Family. She was on like Murphy Brown, Quantum Leap, a lot of really cool shows, in the 80s. And she was a big supporter of me and encourager, real great mentor. She had hooked me up with a guy who was making a short film. It was a class project, silent film, and it was my first role. I think I still have the copy on VHS to show you how long that was ago. And that was it. I'm like, I think I can do this. And I started meeting other people, and I ended up meeting a fellow theater student turned filmmaker. And I said, you know what? I don't want to wait for roles anymore. I don't want to wait for these auditions. And I guess my idea changed when I didn't get the lead roles anymore, and I'd have to wait for like a supporting role. Like people were really willing to give me, okay, here's a supporting role, but you're not really right for this lead one. But I didn't want that. And I'm like, man, there's just not a lot of opportunity here. And so I set out, I was like, I'm going to write my own. And what became like maybe a one-act play became into a feature. Me and this buddy of mine at the time, still a good guy, still a good friend, Mike McCallum, we're like, we can make this into a movie. And he had some experience already making some shorts. So I wrote that probably 6 months or more. And we just started breaking it down, and I raised some money for it, bought some equipment. I never took a film class. I never took a writing class. We just put this film together the best we knew how. And it was interesting that it was a 60s period piece. I mean, most filmmakers or going out into film school would make like a 1-minute short. They would practice. I didn't even have a computer at the time. Never touched a camera, really. Nobody had computers in their houses normally at that time, let alone camera equipment. So expensive to own any of this or rent it. I asked for some favors, some loans from family and gifts and things, bought a camera. He had the same matching camera. We went out and shot this 60s period piece called The Model Father. And we had a great time. There was some really great experiences. I think very fine performances from everybody. It was basically my student film that I made as a feature. Actually had it screen in a theater, which was very cool, and to an audience. I've moved on since then, and we've done other things. I've learned a lot as a filmmaker. So, and I guess this blog is a little bit, of course, about me being an actor, an artist, and also some of the things that I've gleaned from my security work. All the people that I've met throughout the years, professionals and people that have become colleagues that have helped me of course, finance some of these films, and just me from a security standpoint, learning human behavior. And so that's how I wanted to tie this in is I spent so many years watching cameras, watching people without audio, just anticipating moves and seeing different characters and seeing people, how they walk, how, in acting, when they say you walk with a nose center, you kind of walk forward with your nose, a chest center, guy beefs out his chest, a belly or pelvis center, someone kind of shuffles their feet walking with their pelvis. And I'd see all that and I'd just watch people for hours and I was like, 40, 50 hours a week watching human behavior. And they always say sometimes you have to just go out in a park and study people, and that's what actors do. But I got that training early on that helped me, not only with any history of my childhood and people that I've met and family and friends and stuff like that. Being a security officer helped teach me confidence and bravery. I mean, like going up right in front of somebody, and I had done some sales too, so that really helped. Going door to door, just start striking up conversation, engaging with people. That has helped me so much in my work, being brave, being bold to talk to crowd, a Q&A, to potential investors, and really showing them the value of what we're bringing as a project, and the particulars, of course, all the logistics and financial details. So a lot of these things that I've done and did through my life had prepared me for where I am right now. So it's really funny how you go through life and these things happen, good, bad, and you wonder why. And sometimes you're put on a shelf for a couple years and you see other people kind of passing by and you wonder, where's my time? When's my time? But all these things are just preparing you for where you are eventually will go to if you work at it, if you plan for it, if you're working for it, because opportunity may come, but if you're not prepared for the opportunity, it'll pass you by. Why would, if you're a believer in God, you believe in whatever you believe, why would you be giving something that you're not ready for? It's just like you won't be able to handle it. You won't be able to manage it. And somebody that is ready for it could be blessed with that and really take it to the end. So where I am now, I think that all the things, ups and downs, and it is a journey. It is a marathon. Just like when you think you came and you cross that ribbon, whether it's a completed film, you got it in the can, now it's the next thing, it's marketing, now it's distribution, now it's this. You're always in the race. It never stops unless you stop and you just kind of take the ride and let circumstances affect you rather than you affecting your circumstances. Because we all know it's how you react to the problem is the problem. And so I do like to post, things that are positive. And so you'll have some of that in these podcasts. You'll have some motivational stuff, quote unquote, life coaching things where I am not an authority in all these things. All I know is what has happened to me and my take on how I've come through those things, not around them, not under them, but through them. And so I hope that some of these things can resonate with just people in general who are fans, aspiring actors and artists, people that want to learn from the things that I have. And I also will throw some things out there that I actually enjoy doing. I mean, we all tell actors, and actors know that in order to actually take on characters and assume these different traits, I mean, you really have to live life. You can't just be buried in scripts and around, just the entertainment stuff. You have to put boots on and go and work, and whether it's fish and hunt or work out or go volunteer, be around people that have nothing to do with that business or nothing to do with the entertainment industry. And they're just down home folks. And because those are our audience, those are the ticket buyers. And if we can't connect and relate to the people, and we're so detached from them, which happens sometimes in Tinseltown, then they won't be able to really relate to us, nor will we be able to relate to those types of characters or those types of people. So it has really helped me being on both sides of that fence in the industry and also still maintaining this job, a security officer, which I feel is still, it's a service to my community. I am a certified healthcare security officer, which we do training along with, the policies, procedures, and whatnot of the health system. But also we deal with self-defense and ground escape tactics, similar to all what police officers do in their line of work. And one of my best and most effective tools while being a security officer, I'm a bigger guy. I can handle myself. I know moves and certain defensive tactics and stuff, and I can do that very effectively. But I am highly effective in communication, de-escalation, crisis intervention. I can talk people down, usually with my voice and just my body language. It's all body language and the tone of my voice. So I've been certified in various things while working in this job and becoming a security professional. That's the way I view myself, as a professional. I am a certified interviewer and interrogator. Sounds kind of crazy, huh? And also a crisis intervention specialist. I am actually on the CIT team, crisis intervention team for the Tri-County, Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton County. So it's been an interesting few years. We had, some really cool success and awards with our films that just came out, Wild Faith, the Quest trilogy, 40 Nights, Chasing the Star, and now to come out this year, 2018, The Christ Slayer. So I encourage you to go check those things out. So what I've learned in all these years in the security world and trying to, as DJ Perry, my friend, says, clawing in my way to the middle, is just hard work always wins. People can be talented, but just keep persevering, keep showing up, keep working towards your goals and your dreams. You can have dreams, but if you don't have the goals in front of them, those dreams just become something that you wish you could do. So if you're not actively working towards a series of goals leading to that, I find it very difficult to effectively move forward. So I'll probably be wrapping this up. I just wanted this first podcast to be kind of an introduction to who I am. And I will probably be talking more about not just me, but other things and other people, celebrating other people's successes, promoting possibly their films, their work, along with the things that I'm doing, of course. And also going on, and we might sideline it, and I might talk about hunting, which I'm a fan of, and it's October right now in Michigan. Hunting has just started. I'm excited about that. I am a hunter. I am an ethical hunter. We own some property that I go out and we actually, harvest some of the deer and turkey and things from the land. I put them in delicious meals. It saves. I'm a conservationist, and it saves. We have this chronic wasting disease that's happening in Michigan right now. So there, more deer, less places to live, and diseases could be more rampant because they're not spread out as enough, or you have too many in the herd. And there has to be a thinning of that herd, which nature usually naturally does. But hunting helps that, and it brings money into the state for other conservation effort. And we'll talk about other things, family, faith. So if you want to continue riding along with me, tune in, and I will try to keep some podcasts up, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. We'll see what happens and if the response is good. So again, thank you for listening to my podcast and coming along. And please share your thoughts. And if you really like this, have a shout at me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So again, thank you very much. God bless you all, and good night.